Good evening, you're watching The Print Live. The question we're asking today is, was the Election Commission's decision to cancel campaigning in West Bengal necessary? For those of you who may not know, this is with regard to an unprecedented development that took place in West Bengal yesterday. The Election Commission, invoking Article 324 of the Constitution, decided to cancel campaigning in West Bengal, in the remaining 9 constituencies of West Bengal that go to polls on the 19th of May. 24 hours prior to when they were actually when the campaigning was actually supposed to be concluded. Now, the EC's decision, unprecedented in its own words, the EC in its order said that this is probably the first time that the Election Commission has taken such a drastic step. The decision, of course, came in the backdrop of violence in West Bengal. West Bengal, remember, has been one of the most violent states as far as as far as these Lok Sabha elections are concerned. There have been 3 deaths reported already in the state through the 6 phases of polling, and the violence took a particularly acrimonious turn on Tuesday, earlier this week, during BJP President Amit Shah's roadshow in Kolkata. There was violence reported from outside College Street, where Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar's statue was vandalized. According to reports, the statue was vandalized by BJP supporters. However, what has ensued is this exchange of very acerbic allegations between TMC and the BJP, each sort of blaming the other for this kind of a mess that West Bengal is finding itself in this Lok Sabha election. So this is the backdrop against which EC's decision came late last evening, and while campaigning was supposed to be concluded on the 17th of May, the EC decided to conclude the campaigning on 16th May itself, 10 p.m. onwards. Now, ever since, please don't forget to send us questions through this live. We'll be taking them up for you. I already have a bunch of questions which I will be addressing in the meantime. Is EC's action biased? Well, one can argue one way or the other whether or not EC's decision was necessary. However, the Commission has come under very severe criticism for kind of having a biased conduct throughout this election. This decision of the Election Commission has particularly been criticized for its timing. Now, don't forget that it was just one day, it was in fact on the same day that BJP President Amit Shah had accused the poll body of being a mute spectator, of being biased against the BJP when it came to West Bengal, and within a few hours of the BJP president making the statement, this sort of drastic decision was taken by the Commission. However, it's not just that. The timing of the decision, the poll panel has of course said that from 10 p.m. onwards on 16th of May, the campaigning will be cancelled. Now, a lot of people are asking, including the opposition leaders, are asking if the situation in West Bengal is so bad that it warranted this kind of an unprecedented response from the poll body, then why has the Commission not immediately cancelled the campaigning in the 9 constituencies? Why has it decided to give this leeway until 10 p.m. to political parties? Because if the violence is as bad as is being reported, then it's entirely possible that the situation will only get worse during the day. Interestingly, a lot of people have commented that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is scheduled to have 2 rallies in West Bengal on the 16th of May. His last rally is going to be concluded around 8 p.m. That is why people are finding it very curious that the Prime Minister's rally is going to be concluded at 8 p.m. and the poll panel has decided to cancel campaigning after 10 p.m. So we're not saying whether EC's action is biased or not. However, these are the questions, some very legitimate ones that have been asked by people, by opposition leaders. And remember, the Election Commission has faced severe criticism all through this election for sort of being biased in some way towards the government, towards the Bharatiya Janata Party. Mamata Banerjee, the Chief Minister of West Bengal, in fact addressed the media after EC's decision came out late last evening, and she in fact was very, very aggressive in the way she attacked not just the Prime Minister and BJP President Amit Shah, but also the poll body. She said its actions are absolutely unethical, unfair and unconstitutional. And in fact, she said that the election commission, she went on to attack the election commissioners personally, and said that these people are the spokespersons of the BJP and of the government, and they are just doing its bidding. Another question, why were the two officers suspended? Yes, that's an important question. Another parallel development yesterday was that the Election Commission also transferred two of West Bengal's top officers, IPS officer Rajeev Kumar and IAS officer who was appointed as the Home Secretary of West Bengal, Mr. Bhattacharya. It transferred both these officers, and while it said that Mr. Bhattacharya had somehow intervened in the poll process, the commission really offered no explanation for suspending Mr. Rajeev Kumar. However, ThePrint has reported today that Mr. Rajeev Kumar was actually suspended and transferred because he had allegedly arrested BJP spokesperson Tajinder Singh Bagga, who was apparently reported to be on the spot on where the violence took place on the day Vidyasagar's statue was vandalized. So soon after his arrest and soon after he was taken for questioning, the special observer of the commission submitted his report to the Election Commission, in which he said that Tajinder Singh Bagga is absolutely innocent in this case, and Rajeev Kumar had without any authority arrested him, and action should be taken against Rajeev Kumar. So do read our story, and remember that Rajeev Kumar is also no stranger to controversy. He's been at the forefront of this Center versus West Bengal war. Just a few months ago, he was the CBI wanted to question him, and they reached his residence in what then sort of became a huge controversy, with Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee actually protesting against his questioning by the CBI and having this more than 70-hour dharna which she launched in order to save democracy, as she called it. So, well, the arrest of these two officers also in that sense becomes very, very curious, because while on one hand one might say that the situation in West Bengal warranted some kind of very drastic steps to be taken by the Election Commission, on the face of it what it seems is that the commission is taking very, very one-sided actions which would probably be harming one side and protecting the other. Another question, has there been a precedence of this sort? Well, as I mentioned earlier, in Election Commission's own words, this is an unprecedented action, and this is the first time that the Commission has used invoked Article 324 of the Constitution to take such a decision. Remember, Article 324 gives the Election Commission complete control during elections. What that means is that the Election Commission can take any action that it deems fit for the conduct of free and fair elections in the country through this period. And the Supreme Court has sort of spoken about this article on several occasions, and it has said that where there is no existing law, then the commission is free to sort of take any action that it may deem necessary under Article 324. Another question that I have is, was this decision taken unanimously? Well, it appears that this decision was taken unanimously because the order that was sent out by the Election Commission yesterday cancelling campaign in West Bengal was signed by all three commissioners, including Chief Election Commissioner Sunil Arora, Election Commissioners Ashok Lavasa and Sushil Chandra. So it does seem like there was unanimity as far as this decision of the Commission was is concerned. To those of you who may not know, this question is coming from the earlier controversy that sort of had hit the poll panel, because when the poll panel was giving clean chit after clean chit to Prime Minister Narendra Modi for allegedly not violating the Model Code of Conduct, it later came out that that Election Commissioner Ashok Lavasa had in fact dissented in some of those decisions and said, and he was of the view that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has violated the Model Code of Conduct in some cases. However, his decision was overruled. But as far as the decision of West Bengal is concerned, it does seem like there was unanimity among all three commissioners. Opposition parties on Wednesday criticized the Election Commission's order to curtail campaigning time in West Bengal for the final phase of the Lok Sabha elections, with some questioning if the timing of the order favored Prime Minister Narendra Modi. I don't know the name of the person who's asking this question, but yes, it does seem like, or at least that is what is being alleged, that the timing is somehow suited to the schedule of the Prime Minister, who is, as I mentioned, set to address 2 rallies. I think he's already addressed one and is set to address the second one later in the day. And he has no rally scheduled tomorrow, nothing in West Bengal tomorrow. So people are asking the question that if this decision was taken specifically to suit Prime Minister Narendra Modi's schedule. When we asked the officials in the commission, we were told off the record that, well, the commission decided to give some leeway to political parties so that it does not overly disrupt the poll campaign in the state just hours or just a day or two before elections. It wanted to supposedly give all sides, all political parties, some time to conclude their last minute campaigning, and that is why that is why this leeway of 1 day was given by the commission. Asked about this 10 p.m. Deadline, we were told that, well, according to Supreme Court orders, loudspeakers are not allowed post 10 p.m. and that is why the commission thought that after 10 p.m. they will cancel all campaigning in West Bengal. We have a question from Akhil Mishra. Is there provision in EC laws that allows this decision? If yes, has this been done before? Yes, Akhil, I think I have addressed this question earlier, but as I mentioned, under Article 324 of the Constitution, there is really nothing that the Commission cannot do. It can of course be challenged under the court of law, which in this case also might be possible, but again, under Article 324, the Commission has complete sort of control of administration during elections. And in that sense, yes, the law does allow EC to take such an action. Whether or not it gets challenged by opposition parties, particularly by Mamata Banerjee's party, the Trinamool Congress, which is the affected party here, remains to be seen. But as per the law, it is something that the EC is well within its right to do. If yes, has this been done before? No, apparently something like this has not been done before. This is what the EC order itself said, that that probably it was the first time that the EC was sort of compelled to take such a drastic action. However, the Commission also warned that it may be the first time, but it would not be the last time where the EC takes an action like this in case there is violence again during polls. Another question, Congress spokesperson Randeep Singh Surjewala called the poll panel's decision a dark day in the history of democracy. EC's order on West Bengal negates the due process under Article 14 and 21 and abdicates constitutional duty under Article 324 to ensure level playing field. Is this true? Well, without going into the exact allegations that are being made leveled by the Congress, as far as the law is concerned, the EC has done nothing that the law does not permit it to do. However, given the context and given the kind of the little kind of scope that the EC seems to have created for the Prime Minister to kind of carry on with his rally unaffected absolutely by this EC order, does make it seem that that did play on the mind of the Election Commission while taking such a decision. Dark day in the history of democracy. Well, the Election Commission, a lot of people are saying that it has abdicated its responsibility of ensuring free and fair elections in the country, that it is appearing to be very, very one-sided, that it is appearing to be the spokesperson, as Mamata Banerjee said yesterday, of the ruling party. So a lot of questions are being raised on the conduct of the Election Commission itself, and yesterday's controversy has only sort of added to the dent that has been sort of created as far as the Election Commission's image is concerned. We have a question from Noinama Basu. Do you think this is a one-sided approach once again by the EC while favoring BJP? Yes, Noinama, as I mentioned, that through this election, the commission, the poll body, which is entrusted to be the umpire to oversee whether or not to ensure basically that free and fair elections are conducted across the country, has been under the scanner. A lot of controversies really with regard to clean chits given to Prime Minister Modi, to BJP President Amit Shah, to Namo TV being allowed to be telecast while the Model Code of Conduct is going on, from the suspension of the IAS officer in Odisha who had actually checked Prime Minister Modi's helicopter. All these controversies have really dented the image of the Election Commission, and questions are rightly being raised on the sort of non-partisanship of the commission, which it's supposed to really have. If I can just dwell a little bit on the politics of all this, as I had mentioned earlier, BJP President Amit Shah had criticized the commission yesterday for being a mute spectator, not doing much to kind of salvage the situation in West Bengal. Even Union Minister Arun Jaitley had criticized the commission for not addressing the situation adequately. And after this kind of pressure was created by the BJP on the commission, hours later we saw the commission taking the stand that it took. After that, of course, we have seen Mamata Banerjee very, very aggressively targeting the commission for being biased against the opposition, and through the day we have seen support pour in for Mamata Banerjee from across the political spectrum, with opposition leaders like Mayawati, Chandrababu Naidu, Akhilesh Yadav, Arvind Kejriwal, Omar Abdullah, etc., all sort of kind of throwing their weight behind Mamata Banerjee and kind of targeting the Election Commission for not being as unbiased as it is expected to be. Last question from Zafar Ali. Can EC cancel the election after the results are declared on 23rd May and it doesn't go in favor of BJP? Well, the Election Commission can definitely cancel the polls and order a re-polling in one or more of the constituencies in West Bengal in case violence is reported, but definitely not if votes go in favor of the BJP, because that is no ground to sort of cancel or order a re-poll in any situation. Thank you so much. If you have more questions, please do send them to us and we'll be happy to take them up, and we will be following this development very closely at The Print. Keep watching us live on The Print.